What is up, guys? Welcome to Los Revs podcast. How about we all say Los Revs podcast? No, I'm kidding. No,
1, 2, 3.
Los Revs podcast. So, I don't know about that. No, I'm kidding. So, to my right, I have Mr. Rudy Aguilar, Mr. GQ. Say hey, Rudy, or whatever you want to say.
What's up, guys?
To my left here, we have I guess a special guest or an OG, whatever you want to call him. We have Carlos Leyva. Say hey. Say. Oh, hey. Kick him out. No. And then to my left,
No te trajimos pa' eso.
we have Carlos Gomez.
Hey, it's like Carlos and Carlos.
Carlos and another Carlos.
Estaban al 2 por 1, so.
Oh, 2 for 1?
Yeah.
It was a Black Friday special.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. Cyber Monday is about to come. So today, the subject for today is how do y'all feel, or how did you feel, your first time either presenting, directing, preaching, teaching, or either playing a song, whatever, singing, playing a guitar, whatever it is, in front of a huge crowd or in front of 20 people. How did you feel your first time? How did it feel? And what did you do? And what did you think? It's a big question, but a really good answer if you really think about it.
Wait, who's going first?
If you wanna answer,
You can go first.
You can go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
Well,
we can go
I really want you to go first because you're really good at answering questions.
For real.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on,
so-
dude. I'm flattered. Wait.
You're fattered or flattered?
I'm both.
I'm kidding.
Cut that out.
That's what I heard too.
Hey, so wait, only in church or anywhere else?
Anywhere, dude. I'm
Just
talking
talk about something.
like whenever you were little Tony Stark to big Tony Stark.
Like big Tony Stark?
Dang, shade
Well,
already.
I've been doing this since I was like a little kid, so I don't remember much. I just remember that the first time that I started like going up there to the front, I was like 12. The first time that I did it in church, I had like a special participation. So I wasn't looking at like the people. I was just looking like over their heads, and that was it. Like I was just like I just did what I had to do, and I came back to my seat. But I had no like facial expression or whatsoever. I was just like buh. And then I started being myself, as in like more like relaxed. So yeah, that's how I got better at it.
I guess I feel you, dude.
Como que más chistosito.
No, pues está chistoso la historia que tuviste.
Pues
What
sí.
about you, Carlos Eva? Whenever you're a little kid, how did you feel, or did you even go through that when you were a little kid?
Or you're still going through that?
Or you're still going through that? You haven't went through your first phase?
Nah. I guess my first time.
First time what? Nah, I'm kidding.
My first time. I guess I was like, what? 12?
And you're
No,
13
11.
now?
Yeah. And
How old are you now? Now
I was playing. It was when I first started learning drums.
Okay.
So it was like a kid service.
Church,
Friday.
right? Church service?
Yes, it was
Okay.
a church service.
Okay.
A kids church service on a Friday.
On a
It was
Friday.
just like 6 people there. The pastor, me and drums, somebody on guitar, and that was it. And like 3 people in the crowd. And then I started playing, and it felt special. And now it's like, I guess fast forward, what, 10 years?
Yeah. Wait, we're not there yet.
Oh.
That's the second part.
Okay,
That's the
well,
second
it felt special. And it
We're
felt
not gonna
something
fast forward
like
yet.
something I really like to do, so. Yeah.
There we go. What about you, Rudy? Dude, I never present myself, and I hardly present Daniel. So, Daniel over here, say hi, Daniel, if you can.
I'm good.
All right, I guess he's good. So, Daniel, the tech, is behind the scenes.
That was Daniel.
Controlling the camera and the audio. A professional that he is. So now, back to and myself, Angel Sillas. What's up, guys? I forgot to introduce myself. So to my right, Rudy's going to answer this question.
I mean, I think it was whenever I was in high school. I was
You're bullied.
was asked. I was asked to give a small Bible study,
Wow.
This is my first time in high school, and like I barely became a Christian. Like it was just like 2 or 3 years, and I already was asked to give a Bible study, and it was kind of like nerve wracking because I never been in front of people, and I was very, reserved, and I never really like talked to people. I was very antisocial, so whenever I was first, teaching, and I was getting prepared for it, I kept denying it. I kept telling the person that told me to give a teaching. I was like, nah, bro, I don't think I can do it. Like, you can find someone better. Like, but whenever I got to the point where I had to actually study, he was like, nah, man, I believe in you. You can do it and stuff like that. So, in other words, I started like preparing for that. I was so nervous that I literally wrote down like 8 pages of what I was gonna talk about.
Was it repeated?
It wasn't repeated.
Like the same thing?
No, it wasn't the same thing. It was about the armor of God. So like I had a page for each armor.
Was it copy and pasted?
No, it wasn't copy and pasted. It was.
You had a copy of each armor?
Huh?
Or each piece?
Wait, what?
Forget it. Just keep talking.
Keep going.
So basically, I had a page for each armor of God, like the shield and the breastplate of righteousness and all that stuff. So like I would just like I had all those notes in front of me, and then when I first went up there, like everyone was just staring at me.
How many people were like you said?
I mean, it was like I want to say like at least 15 people.
15 people.
And like everyone was just staring at me, and people were just like they were talking. I felt like they were making fun of me and stuff like that, but they probably were. But I mean, I just wanted to get through it, and
just try to finish it.
And I was basically reading off the pages.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like that's how nervous. That's my first start. Like that's my beginning.
Like you didn't see their faces.
Yeah, I didn't even see their faces. I was just like reading it off of a paper and stuff.
And they didn't see your face apparently because you were looking at the pages.
Exactly. So I mean, now I don't even need notes like that. I can just use just one page or not even a page, and I can go on and on. But that's how I started. It was just at high school. Then I became later the leader of the Bible studies.
That's short, man.
But that's where it all starts. You had to start from the beginning.
Yeah. See, I remember mine. I mean, I didn't grow up in church, I guess. I mean, you could say. So from what I remember, the first time, like actually doing something in front of people, was when I think it was in 4th grade, and it was in 4th grade, and it was in elementary, and it was a talent show. I think it was. It was at the end of the year, and it was something that we were basically all waiting for because we were actually practicing. So we were practicing this song, and it was I'm not sure if you ever heard the song. It was by Daddy Yankee as En Bailalo. So we heard that song. Okay. From when I was dancing that song, I was dancing it with my crush, right? Mm-hmm. So I did all that because of my crush. So I was supposed to dance with somebody else, but I was dancing with my crush. So whenever we practice so hard, we practice like almost every day at the end of our what was it called? At the end of our class. So after the end of our class, we practice and all that. So we practice like an hour. So we put in so much work basically, right? So whenever it came down to the performance, like you could say we performed, everything was good. Like we all felt good. At the end of the day, like if people were clapping, la la la, oh my God, they're so good, da da da. Like that was basically like the best performance of the night, right? So I guess you could say like in 4th grade, like all them class, people telling you were like, oh my God, that was so good, like, and I guess you could feel like that pridefulness, like it's like or that glory of the moment is like, oh yes, I'm the best, and I would have thought like after that dance, like the crush that I had would have like went out with me, but she didn't. She turned me down. But that's from what I remember my first moment. It was nerve wracking in the beginning. I guess you could say like if you're going in like in a boxing fight or whatever, or if you're going to an event like you're gonna preach or whatever, you get nervous. You get that nerves type of feeling sometimes. Yeah. And I had that feeling, but then once you're in it, it's like that nerves goes away because you put so much practice in it that nerves went away. So it felt good at the end of the day. So that was my experience when I was little. It wasn't like at church, it was just that moment. So, Carlos, now that you're old, what was the first time you ever how did you feel if you remember whenever it was your first time that you preached or you teached in church?
How was the first time?
Yeah, how was it your first time?
Or
how did you deal with it? How did you feel?
Your experience.
Your experience.
Oh, I felt great. I
I
was like, oh yeah, I achieved one of my purposes. I don't remember. It was 2-3 years ago. I remember the people were laughing, so I was like, I think this is good. But at the end, they told me, they told me, hey, it was really good because it was an in-depth Bible study. It was an in-depth Bible study. But I feel great because I like when people learn more stuff about the Bible or anything else.
That's a good one. That was tasteful.
That was deep.
That was deep. What about you, Carlos? It's so confusing because it's two Carloses. Nah, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, Carlos Leyva. Your experience whenever you were
Older.
now that you're older, and it was your first time playing in the actual band or whatever you could say.
I guess it was that one time in the conference that y'all went.
I went.
Yeah.
I went, not y'all.
Yeah.
He went?
Yeah.
I
I
went.
He was a janitor.
What? I was 18, 19.
Y tú eres el que bochaba los carros allá afuera.
Pretty much.
Plando.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, why are you not recording this? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was already 18, 19, and we had that conference, right? It was 3 years ago, and I remember the band practiced
A little bit.
for a month.
Oh, for a month.
Straight. Every day, not every day, but every day that we could, we would practice, and I remember the feeling when we actually got to perform it.
Uh-huh.
It was an achievement of all these past few years from
all these worries.
Yeah, no.
Were they worries or no?
It wasn't worry because I felt like we were ready.
You had it in the bag.
Jesus had it in the bag.
Jesus had it in the bag.
Jesus had it prepared for us to have it in the bag.
Okay, there we go.
So it was
nice.
Wait, so that was the first time that you were playing up there?
It was the first time that I directed a worship band, and
I remember it was nice.
from the reaction y'all had, y'all made us feel good, which made us
The fans.
People were laughing.
which made us
fans.
perform better. And yeah,
Oh,
so
that was sweet. That was cute.
I think
man.
that counts a lot when you're seeing people's reactions and you feel that they're liking it. That motivates
Yeah.
you to keep doing it.
But we can't be driven by that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
I
that's
know,
an extra,
but
you know, that's
it's
an
an
extra.
extra.
it's
an extra.
sometimes in worship, you see the singer or the players going all crazy, and you might be just
Led by
looking
that.
at them.
Or no?
You have to as a worship leader, you have to transmit some kind of energy into them. If you're just wow, 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 then the people are gonna be like,
Wah, wah, wah.
Wow, wow, wow.
But
so
but also when you see the singer going all crazy and the people, the crowd,
Show me what crazy is.
when they're like. I
Do
don't know,
it again,
dude.
bro.
Well, the
I
thing
want
is
to see crazy, dude. What's
Oh, you
crazy?
That
wanna
was
see
crazy,
Oh,
bro.
no.
now, I don't think you can do that when you see that the crowd is just so I think you have to adapt in a way because maybe it's a serious crowd. So maybe they like serious singers.
Nah,
No.
but I wouldn't think they would be serious.
Nah.
Were you
No,
talking about Japanese serious?
No. You don't see people happy or hyped up, and you're just
Oh, you're in the
yeah,
in the outskirts church.
Yes.
It's straight up in the outer.
So you're just
North Dakota?
jumping and all, and
North
they see you as what is this guy
what is
doing?
this new thing?
Yeah,
Is this the next generation?
maybe.
So now you, Rudy. So what do you think? No, not what do you think, but if you can remember the first time you ever preached, how did it feel? How did you experience it?
I mean,
Don't look at me.
first time I preached, I mean, yeah, he was there. Carlos was there.
Was it that one time when I was translating for you? Oh yeah, I remember.
That was your first time you preached?
Yeah, it was my first time when I preached. I mean, maybe
Tell the people how you really feel.
about the first time I mean, I was kind of nervous, but at the same time, I was kind of used to it already because, like, at my church, the youth sometimes the pastora gives me the opportunity to give class. So, I gave class a couple of times already. Like, I want to say like at least 10 times I was given the opportunity. So I was kind of comfortable already speaking to a crowd of people, and I was already like basically I mastered basically how to communicate and to teach, but I never got that that big stage where preaching. So to me this was like a big opportunity for me. So I felt kind of more nervous than usual, but it kind of went away with prayer and fasting and just being focused on the topic. And if you know what you're talking about, like if you know what you're preaching about, like if you know the topic from beginning to the end, then you'll feel confident. You won't feel nervous. So I went in there, I was confident. I had Carlos translate for me, so that made it a whole lot easier.
It was good. You were amazing, dude.
Bro, stop lying. Stop lying. Don't make me blush.
Lying is a sin, dude.
Don't make me blush.
Aww.
These are one like this.
Did you do a close up on his heart? Okay, you did a close up on his heart, babe.
Yeah, so I mean I guess that's my first time when I first preached. And it was cool whenever you have friends. Like I think that's what made
I have cool friends.
That made me more confident whenever I had like Carlos and his church and my church being there.
His church.
So.
Your pastor?
Yeah, I'm a pastor.
Oh.
Well, nice church, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I mean that was
your experience, how you dealt with it. I remember my first experience, not preaching, but it was singing.
Oh.
So, I mean, I knew I had the talent in me, cause I think I learned my talent like really late. I don't know how, but when I was young, I wasn't really into singing. I was just like, okay, I'm just singing in the showers and stuff like that. And I just went by that. And then like my parents didn't know at all. Like they didn't know if I was good or not. They just like, man, this guy sings in the shower almost every time.
You're good, Miko. You're good.
Oh, you're good.
Pero bájale.
So I always sing in the showers. And then like there was a day where it was like an opportunity for me to sing up there. And man, I think I was singing up in church, like in church in the altar, in the altar. And so I think it was.
Let me guess. No place I would rather be.
No. But that's a goodie though. That's a goodie. I give you that one. That was my go-to one. But I remember when I went to Iglesia del Pueblo. This is before what I'm saying. But in Iglesia del Pueblo, they sang the song. It goes like La Niña de tus Ojos. Bro, that song touched me before I accepted Christ, Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And that song was like, wow, that's like grabbed me. I was like, this lady's singing really good on this song. So from then on, I was like, that's my go. Like I was like, I must sing that song. Wherever it is, I'm gonna probably sing. So fast forward, it was at church at Alfarero, and so it was an opportunity for me to sing this song, La Niña de tus Ojos. And so, I was like super nervous. So, but I was like, I practiced so much that I'm gonna just go for it. So I go for it, I sing it, but like my nerves, like my hand is shaky, like the whole like at first. But then I start to get comfortable, and so like not to say, cause I'm gonna be real, it wasn't perfect, cause people recorded it and you could hear me like kind of like close to even being a scream.
Los gallos.
Yeah, los gallos. Like they came out, bro, like at full force. Like that gallo was like at full, like them fighting gallos.
Even Jesus had to cover his ears.
No, not even. But I'm not even sure if it's out there, but it's like recorded, like for sure, like it was recorded.
I'll make sure it gets to be out there.
No, please no. But it was like, to me, when I heard it, I was like, damn, that's bad. But I tried. I mean, I went out there, and after that, I got comfortable and more comfortable every single time I performed, to the point where it's like, whenever I go up there, it's comfortable.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Were you nervous because of the people that were watching you, or
Not
you
even.
just didn't want to forget the lyrics?
Not even that. It's just me not feeling comfortable at all, and I just I was shaking because of my own like. This is my first time. Like this is me singing out of me hiding this talent for the longest, singing in the showers and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I'm here singing in front of like a lot. It was probably like I would say like 80 people in that church at that day. And then with preaching, like the first time I preached. Actually, the first time I teach, because it felt the same way when before I even preached, because I had to prepare for what I was teaching. Yeah. And so I put so many studies into it. I put a lot of I grabbed so many ideas, and prayed and everything. And then it came a day when I was supposed to teach. It was one of those Thursday nights. I think you weren't there at that time. Yeah, you didn't exist. No, I'm kidding.
I was doing.
You were in Reynosa.
Yeah, Mexico.
Alianza. So my first time teaching, it was actually I didn't even have that many nerves. I was actually I'm more comfortable at that time because I was I'm more prepared, and I was I have this. And also it was pretty much 15 minutes, but really it lasted 30 minutes.
And you knew the people.
And I knew the people that were in front of me. So even though I knew probably someone would judge or whatever, but I knew my subject, and I knew if they were gonna go against it, to me it's whatever I'm saying is for the Lord, and if it doesn't go the way it is, then I mean it doesn't go the way it is. But it went well. It went really good. And then my preaching was you can remember, right?
Yes.
Do you remember my preaching?
Yes.
Say,
I do.
Was it with me and you preached together, or was it me and Martin?
No,
It was
me and Andrea.
Carlos.
No.
Is it me and Andrea?
The first time that I preached at El Alfarero.
No, me.
No, I'm saying I did it with someone else. It wasn't you.
I think it was me and Andrea, and you were me and Martin. And you were Martin.
No, I think it was Martin and you. Anyways.
No, I think it was me and Andrea.
I think I had Andrea, and that's when she.
Oh, you had Andrea.
Myself. And then you went with her because I guess it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something happened there. I got mad, but that's another story. But I had to improvise, but it was good because I didn't know it was gonna last pretty long. I think it was 30 minutes, and I felt pretty good at the very end. And then I preached another day after that, not after it, but I think it was 2-3 months after, but it went pretty good. But the nerves, if you still feel it in the beginning, the nerves, the what ifs, if you're gonna mess up or whatever. But
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What there's people who's gonna teach or play for the first time. What kind of tips you would give the people? If they wanna get over the nerves in the first time doing something.
What do you say, Carlos?
Rehearse. Master your topic if you're teaching or preaching, and practice a lot if you're gonna sing. And that's all I can say. Don't go there being I got this, and then everything goes down.
Wait, what?
I know some people.
You
that
fart.
I know some people that when they go up there, they're I don't need to study. I don't need to read the Bible that much. So, and they end up forgetting stuff.
They just go 50-50 in it.
Yeah.
50-50.
I say don't recite it.
But there's some people who still
No,
study. There's
don't
people who still study and they still get nervous. How do you overcome that?
Look at people's heads instead of looking them into their eyes. And
Yeah, don't look at their eyes.
yeah.
But if you do look at them in their eyes, make sure you don't fall in love with them.
What?
No, I'm kidding. No,
Oye,
I'm
me
kidding.
perdí. ¿En dónde? En tu mirada, guapo.
Oh, man. Then you're whoa, okay. Nah, I usually look at the people that I'm more comfortable with. If I do look at somebody in the eyes.
Do you look at me when you go up there?
No. No, I don't.
Why not, dude?
Nah,
I thought you trusted me.
You have a funny face. Nah, I'm kidding, dude.
Nah, seriously, you don't look at me?
I don't look at your face.
Nah, this
If
guy.
you want me to look at your face, I ain't gonna look at that. No, I look at your hand gestures, because you do a lot of hand gestures. You know you do a lot of hand gestures.
Sometimes.
Oh, not sometimes. Nah, you do a lot of hand gestures.
Maybe.
So I look at your hand gestures way more. I don't make fun of your hand gestures if you want me to say that.
No, I'm saying
When you
when you
preaching.
preach.
Like you said, you look at people who you're more.
Why would you look at my
I look
hands
at your hands when you
gestures?
preach.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah.
Well,
When
when
you're
you
preaching.
are
Oh, when I'm
preaching or
preaching?
teaching or
Yeah.
singing.
Well, I just look straight ahead, and like I know this sounds kind of dumb, but like
yes.
I just take off my glasses, and I'm close to being not that blind, but it's like everything's kind of blurry.
Está todo borroso.
so I don't kind of see
I
people's
need to do
faces.
that.
So it's
I need
like
to pull
it
that
kind of
trick.
it kind of helps me out, and then I see somebody like I kind of feel like I can see somebody's face, and I can feel them looking at me, but I don't really look at them. So it's kind of like it kind of helps me out.
You're just like,
It's like yeah, it's like yeah, we're looking at you. Yeah,
So you
yeah,
look
but
like-
I'm not really. I'm
I'm
not
not
really.
really looking at you.
You're like, nah, I don't really focus. That's gonna hurt my eyes, dude. But yeah, I just do that, or I just look at the center, like at the wherever's. If I'm from my church, like at the door, like at the center door.
I have another question, but that's for Leyva.
Also, don't try to move a lot. Like if you try to move from left to right, that kind of like lose focus from what the audience.
Also,
That's what I learned from speech class.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and don't look at the floor. Like some people are just like, oh. So if you feel that you're not able to look to people's eyes, like just look at like their foreheads or something. But if you're staring at the floor, that looks bad.
Mhm.
And I have a question for you. Since I know that you play really well, how much time do you spend practicing?
Practicing?
Yeah, well, either for singing or playing guitar.
Practice.
What is
Practice.
Yeah.
I practice every day. Yeah.
What kind of tips will you give to someone that is trying to
young man
learn how to sing
who tries to
or
be like
learn
you.
how to play the drums, the piano,
Who look up to
or
who
the
looks up to you?
guitar?
First of all,
buy a guitar.
buy guitar.
You know you're really into something if you're gonna buy it. Like if you're gonna
Bro.
put some money into it.
Yeah.
If you tell your parents
That's
to
the
buy it, that's how
motivation.
you know.
That's the motivation I needed, cause, like, I'm like borrowing a guitar or something, and I don't practice it that much.
Yeah.
But when I
But
like
once you
save
put
up for
something
it
in it, yeah.
and bought my own guitar, I was like, okay, I bought it.
have to.
I have to play it.
I have to play.
But like, first you have to love it.
Or if you're putting in money for classes and stuff like that, you're putting in
Oh,
money
yeah.
for classes for you to get better.
Yeah.
And then
It's worth it in the end.
like just practice and practice and practice.
You have to practice.
But like
You have to love it.
I love it.
You have
Oh,
you
that's
have
a good
you
one.
have to be made for it.
Dang, you got
Dang.
genetics, bro.
But like
Genetics,
you-
bro. You
Your
got
arms
to
have to be like 7 feet.
But like, will you tell people like, don't try to learn like you just go to like YouTube tutorials and be like, oh, just copy the tutorials. Like you will tell them like, oh, learn scales or try to get songs by ear.
I mean, some people learn by YouTube though.
I learned by YouTube and by ear, and
I learned by
barely
YouTube. on
now
piano.
I'm learning scales
I
and all
thought you
that
knew
stuff.
skills.
No,
You're fake, bro.
I know like, the basic skills, but like you
Oh.
just come up with them, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Come up with them, man.
Sacarlos de, no sé.
Yeah, you gotta come up with them, dude. What about you,
What?
Rudelius?
When you sing, oh no, wait, you don't sing.
You ever sing like in front of? No, you never sing.
Will you do it right now?
Would you ever try? You wanna never try? Like now, one bit.
I dare you to do it right now.
Dare me?
Yeah.
There,
yeah,
you-
wanna
go
We'll help
there?
you out. We'll help you out.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Bro, yes, yes.
Y'all
yes.
wanna go there? Nah.
Yes.
nah.
Ah, come on, man. Wait, okay. If you gonna start, if y'all one of y'all start,
You
we
try,
start.
bro.
we
You
go.
try.
If I do it, will you do it?
Yeah.
Give me some beat, boy.
Give me some beat, bro.
What song?
La de.
Que tu espíritu me guíe sin fronteras. Más allá, se me fue el aire. Más allá de las barreras, a donde tú me llames. Tú me llevas más allá de lo soñado, donde puedo estar confiado
bro,
en
go
la
higher.
sombra de tus alas.
I don't know
Spiritually.
It's oceans. But it's a
Yeah, that is oceans. I kind of figured.
that. So you're Rudy.
Nah,
Oh, yeah.
nah, I was
Ya,
just
ya
playing.
cantó Carlos ahora Rudy.
Nah, I was just playing. I was just playing.
And I was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, Carlos.
That
gonna-
was pretty,
Nah.
I just wanted to see how talented you are.
I'm not talented, but
You are talented.
Yeah.
oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
you're
when it
very
comes to
good.
singing,
You're very good
They
singer.
don't usually give me the mic.
So, guys, that is it for our our fourth podcast video. We're actually yeah, fourth podcast video. Um, do you want to say y'all finals words? You know what I'm saying?
Why are you cutting it off right after I sang?
What
You
you
see?
mean? That was good.
That was
okay.
good. That was a perfect ending.
That was a perfect ending.
Okay, okay.
Beautiful ending.
Do you have any words to say for this ending here? Anything? You got nothing to say, Carlos? For us, for real?
Nah, specify which Carlos.
Yo, so on the links below, which is below the podcast video, below the YouTube video, we have Carlos Leyva's, Carlos Leyva. This is so hard with these.
You still have braces?
This guy. No, I don't have braces.
Nomás te metiste un
No,
fierro.
let me finish. So we have Carlos Leyva's links for his Instagram, and what else? What else do you want to put on there?
That's it.
That's it. Just his Instagram. Good enough.
He's good at band. If you wanna hire him for like an event or something, his band is really good.
What is called? What is the band called again?
Somos uno.
Somos Uno.
Wait, is
Somos
his
uno.
official name in Spanish or in
Yeah,
Somos
Spanish?
Uno.
Spanish.
Yeah, that's a good band.
But we
I
do
heard-
bilingual.
Oh,
So,
they're multi-talented.
yes.
We'll see.
Wow. And what about you, Carlos? Your last words? Not your last words, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't have any last words actually. I don't know.
Carlos, come on, man.
Nah, I mean just like
En
guys.
serio.
If you wanna go, like if you have this desire within you to preach or teach or play an instrument or sing or whatever, just pray, pray, and pray. You can fast if you want, and don't feel nervous. Like always remember to have friends with you. That way, it's gonna make it easier for you. Like this guy.
Yo, I want to say something about that, right? So the biggest people to decide that is if you go to your parents, and if your parents say don't do it, don't do it.
No,
I'd be
no hagas el
like,
ridículo,
bro, I know how
mijo."
you're saying, dude. Like, don't do it. I know you. But yeah, go fully prepared. Don't go willy nilly. Just like, hey,
Don't
I'ma
read
just go,
page by page.
bro. Cause we heard people that can't sing. Man, we just man.
You say it was pretty good.
No, I'm not. Not you.
even that-
Not
you
you.
probably
Not
say
you.
that
I say
yourself.
we've listened to people. We heard
Yeah.
people sing like that. Are,
If you know that you cannot sing,
If you know
don't
for
get the
sure.
mic. Youth leaders, please don't give him the mic.
yes, please listen to Carlos, cause listen to the man. What about you, Rudy?
Pretty much what Carlos said. I mean, I think the biggest thing that stops people to doing something that they always wanted to do in life is fear, like you had to overcome that. In order to overcome fear, you had to first take that first action, take that first step. Everyone started somewhere, like the greatest preachers, the greatest, people who play music and stuff, they all started somewhere.
They
They
all
all started where you started
They
at.
started small.
They started small before they take that big
That
step.
big
So
step.
it's just baby steps. You're gonna make mistakes along the way, but you just gotta learn how to walk. And then you're gonna learn how to run. Then you're gonna learn how
No,
to
you
do it.
first you learn how to crawl,
Yeah, there you go. Crawl.
and then
There you go.
walk.
Now you kill my. Now you kill my.
I didn't
momentum.
kill it. I'm helping you.
Okay, bro. But I think that's what you need to learn how to do, is just to overcome your fears. Like don't let it get to you. It never has to be perfect the first time. Just be determined, and just like Leyva said, just love doing what you're gonna do. Like if you don't have passion for it, if you're not very into it, if it's not inside of you, then
Just
it's
don't
not,
do it.
Just don't do it. Because
Cause
all you need is passion, basically. Honestly, all you need is passion. Everything else will flow through it, And just be focused, determined, do your homework, pray, and
eat your vegetables.
eat your vegetables.
If you're gonna go up there, because trust me,
Yeah.
people will notice.
Yeah, and si
Yeah.
te vas todo fodongo, people will notice. Bro.
Yeah, y si no te van, pégate un
Bro, if you're
bañito.
wearing somebody else's fedora, people notice, dude. People notice.
That was my fedora.
Oh, that was your fedora?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what you buying a fedora, man? I've seen churches wear fedoras though. not only you. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching Los Revs podcast, and see you on the next one. Peace to the Middle East.
Can I have my phone back?
He kept you weary just long enough for the devil to leave, but now he's about to
Woo.
Breathe into your spirit.
Breathe into your spirit, Rudy.
Energize you.
Energize.
You are not a leftover.
You're not no leftover. My
Pero Daniel sí.
Did you hear what I said? Well, how
No, say it again.
Say it again, Colonel.
See, that's what Thanksgiving is. That's a feast.
That's a feast.
But here's the thing about sheep. If Jesus is the shepherd, sheep have to eat this barley, this oats, more than once.
We gotta eat more.
And Jesus says, the prophetic declaration is that I don't want you to just...
We gotta eat more.
Don't just come to church on Sunday and don't talk to me anymore.
Oh, you only coming on
Don't be
Sunday?
getting up 10 minutes early so you can watch a football game that doesn't really help you.
Dang, he's talking to me.
Preach!
Preach,
You
brother.
need to sustain and build on the relationship.
No llegues a la
Sustain.
And the food that Jesus gives you is easily digestible.
You can digest it
Jesus
easy.
said, I don't want
Just
you to rely on one meal, one moment,
one meal,
one
more
song,
meals.
No, pues I don't rely on one meal.
We have to have more meals.